Hi, Diane Conklin with CompleteMarketingSystems.com. Do you ever have a situation in your business where you have a misunderstanding with a client or you have a misunderstanding with a vendor, and it happens more times, right? More than just once. It happens, and you can't figure out why. It's very interesting because I've seen this from two different sides, and it's interesting what happens. We sometimes assume that people know the same kinds of things that we know. And when we do that, it gets us into trouble. Let me give you an example. If you're a web person and you speak web, many people don't understand. And I'm not even talking about the technical side of it, right? How long does it take for a website to transfer from the development site to its real hosting? What does it mean that it's the site has been programmed and it's ready to go? Little things like that, right? Which to me as a non-technical person might mean something else. To the programmer it means something totally different. Same situation if you're working with a vendor, whether it's a virtual assistant, whether it's somebody who's bringing you products or services or a printer or whatever. You know your business, and so in your mind you've explained to them exactly what it is that you want, and they should now be able to go out and do it. But because you're in it every day, you didn't really give them the details. You didn't give them a deadline. You didn't give them the specifics. You didn't, say, this is the format I'm looking for this in. This happens to me, actually, still more than I would like for it to. Or you're just not clear enough about the thing that you wanted them to send you, right? And so what happens now is time gets wasted because now there has to be another back and forth, or you get angry, or they get upset. You end up letting the person go or finding somebody else, which now takes more of your time, right? And so I'm bringing this to light because I think this happens a lot, and it's those reasons. It's not malice. It's not that people are intentionally not doing what they say or that they're not good at what they do. There becomes this gap. Right? The gap is between what your knowledge and what you portrayed or what you projected or what you said to the other person. And the gap is here, right? And so our job as the business owner, as the leader, is to fill the gap, right? Is to bridge the gap somehow so that, by saying things like, does that make sense to you? Do you have any questions? And you know what? Sometimes when you say even those things, they don't know what to ask, and they think they understand, right? Do you need more detail? Or just thinking about it from the perspective of, before you were this, and for some of us, right, we have been doing this for a long time, so it's hard to think about it from that perspective. But checklists and things help. Asking the person, to say, well, tell me where we are now. Tell me what questions you have. Tell me what you heard me say. And sometimes that seems childish even, right? It seems rudimentary. It seems unnecessary. It's unnecessary for you because you are it. You live it. You eat it. You dream it. You sleep it, right? It's the thoughts that go in your head all the time. It's sort of the same discussion that we have about you know more than you think you do, and that you underestimate your knowledge and how you express your knowledge to people. And so I really want you to think about, if you're having misunderstandings with clients or with vendors, or things don't seem to be clear or getting done the way that you would like them to, with the speed or whatever. And one of the things that we say when we're selling, whether it's written format or verbal or however it is, that without a deadline, there is no offer. And I would tell you the same thing in your work environment. If you don't give people a deadline for when you want things back, then how can you expect them back at a certain time, right? So can you have this to me by Friday? I need this by Wednesday. Can you have this to me by the close of business today, right? Those are real deadlines that people understand. And some things, here's the other thing that I'll just leave you with this thought. Some things matter and some things don't. So does it matter what format it's in as long as it looks the way you want it? Maybe, maybe not, right? So sometimes the process of getting someplace is important, and sometimes it's about where we end up. Right? Does it matter if you took the interstate or the back roads, if it took the same amount of time and you got where you needed to be and everything was right? Okay? So I want you to think about that too. Is it process or outcome? Do you want to be process oriented or outcome oriented? And I get sometimes, it has to be both. Okay? So these are some of the kinds of things that we talk about and that we work on in your business at the implementation coaching event. And we have one coming up, and I'd love to see you there. You simply go to implementationcoachingevent.com and check it out. By the way, if you've been to one of my other events, this is not the same. Yes, I'm calling it the implementation coaching event every time. It's different every time. I'm calling it the same thing because it's still about you implementing. It's still about me coaching you for 2 days. So check it out at implementationcoachingevent.com. Join us. You have nothing to lose because there's a 100% unconditional money back guarantee. Because that's just how I do stuff. I'm Diane Conklin with Complete Marketing Systems. We'll see you next time.